two bachelor's degrees, one in elementary education, one in psychology, two master's degrees, one in special education, and one in educational leadership.
And she qualified. She qualified. So don't talk like me when I say she is. Hoorah! Hoorah!
Education is my thing. Like, I fought it for a long time. Even when I was in college, I went to college for something else and somehow ended back doing this or whatever. So today I'm going to just talk about the teacher. How make sure I get my prompt correct. She asked me, what do educators need most from other entities like home and church? So let me ask you a question. How many people remember their parents helping them at home with schoolwork? You remember clearly. Tell me some things your mom did with your dad or older sibling. Yes.
So,
Where I grew up.
we don't have a choice. So my mom would sit down with us. We had special books that we have to do education. So each evening we have to be home, like, do what we need to do, our chores and stuff, but we have to do our homework first, and then we have to memorize Bible scriptures afterwards. So we did not have a choice at all.
Okay, anyone else? Parents help them at home, yes.
It was similar. Every day we came home, we had to do our homework first. My mom typically worked with me and my sister on like English and social studies. My dad would work with us on math. And then once we were done with homework, we would go outside and play. So that was kind of like the normal regimen until we got older.
How many of your parents volunteered or helped at school? And what did that look like?
Well, my dad, he was a police officer, so he did their program at the school. So it was kind of like that's Officer Brown's daughter, so she could leave her alone. But I didn't like him being in the school. I felt very uncomfortable because I couldn't act up.
Anyone else? Yes.
So my mother she volunteered a lot for the PTO, and then she was my Girl Scout leader. So I didn't get away from her. I understand, but you couldn't do anything in the school because everybody did your mother. So it's like you had no choice but to behave.
And so school is different now because, we can't do what we used to do as educators, I should say. However, as parents, how many of you volunteer in the school? Okay, tell me some things you do at the school you volunteer.
I do the PTO, so on Fridays, Lakota School have like a school store, so I go and set up, and the kids come in and purchase like items that they want.
Okay.
I have been to chaperones before on field trips, and I've also done the volunteer when it comes to reading.
Okay.
I haven't done that recently, but
So-
yeah.
Yes.
I volunteered and she hated it because I would end up teaching. I would make the teacher sit down and I would take over.
Oh, Lord.
I don't know what.
But it was good.
So think outside the box. We can always call the school and say, hey, I can cut some papers out. I can sign up for PTO. But what are some other ways that your teacher or your child's teacher know that you support your child at school? Yes.
By contacting them.
Absolutely, communication. I'm gonna say this, and I have to remind my husband often because he's 100% advocate for his kids, and I'm like, okay, let's figure out what really happened, and he give the teachers grace. So he don't. I have to always say, give the teacher grace because you want them to give your child grace because everyone child doesn't go to school to be perfect.
No, amen.
And I'll be honest, like my kids go to school and be perfect, but at home they're a whole different child. Don't know how that works, but that's what they do. However, so communication is the biggest thing. Communicate. When your teacher gives something, they send something home, maybe the compact for the year, their expectations. Go over those expectations with your child, so your child will meet and the teacher's on the same page because they need to know you are a team. If you don't like the teacher, your child should not know that, right? Give the teacher some grace, right? That's important. I promise you, when I was teaching, the parents that gave me, I'll say this, volunteered and helped out, I looked out for their kids a little bit more because I know I had their parents' support. Those bad kids, every time I call their mom, that mom get mad at me, I promise you I get cussed out every day, y'all, right now. Because parents get upset when you talk about their kids. And I get it because I'm a mom too. But at the same time, we got to get the whole story, understand, but you have to communicate.
It was right up underneath his laptop.
I had some points, but communication, like, it was a black folder. Anyway, communication is the biggest thing. Making sure, make sure I don't miss anything that I want to make sure that you understand. Like I said, you said a good thing, Pastor Kendall, making sure you have a homework routine. Making sure your child know that homework is important, not just what you do at school, but coming home. Do you eat your snack? Because they come home real hungry, right? Do you eat your snack, do your homework, and then you can go do other things you want to do. My kids, we don't do technology in a week.
I love it.
For what? Like, unless you got a learning program that's helping
Right,
you, you really don't need it. But you need to make sure your child knows that there's a foster for learning at home as well, because education is important. Again, constant communication, structure, support, and positive discipline. He's gonna talk more about the discipline part of it, but as an educator, if your child is a child that always getting in trouble, ask them, hey, can I see your discipline matrix so you would know the steps that they follow, so that when your child comes and says, I got lunch attention today, well, they ain't called me, your child should not get lunch attention if they haven't called you. So ask for that, say, hey, could you send me your discipline matrix? If they don't, I'll help you, call me. Because they should be able to share that information with you. Anything you need, they should be able to give to you. You need to know your teacher is highly qualified, because right now at this point, there are not a lot of teachers that's qualified in the classroom. You can literally just have a bachelor's degree in anything.
They tried to hire me.
And just go in the classroom because it's hard. And then you're thinking about the pay, you know. So there are teachers that are certified and are working hard. Guys, give them some grace.
That's right.
I promise you. It helps. It goes a long way. What else I had? We want to make sure that we're modeling resilience, and positive attitude. So what they see you do is what they're gonna model. I promise you, some of the, I hate to call kids bad, but some of the worst kids, their mama come to the school, you know where they got it from.
Right.
Because they act just like their mom, or they act just like their dad, or whatever situation may be. Guys, teach your kids how they're supposed to, they're representing you. So when they go to school, you want them to show that this is not a game, your education is serious. I'm on your teacher side. Even if you're really not, tell them that. So they don't think y'all got a pass. Okay.
Yeah, I'm on the teacher side. I'm on the school.
He said he's not. So I'll just use my family for a situation. I have my two youngest with me at school now. I did not want them because I wanted to be separated from mom and Miss Wright, right? And so last week, 2 weeks ago, the teacher made him upset. He was like, I'm gonna ask to switch their class before he entered the conversation with me. He said, they're going to your school tomorrow. Oh, okay. And so, but they're at school with me now, so I have to let him know, like, okay, I'll hold off your energy. This is my school now. But I know he's checking it out too, like y'all doing all this stuff, but I need to make sure y'all teaching my kids. And believe me, when they came over to my school, I picked up the best teachers for them. I knew what the teachers did, but that's a privilege that I have, having my kids with me.
But we also had that privilege at our last school because we were active at the school. So
Right.
we knew the principal personally.
Yeah.
So any requests that we made, they put them in the classes that we wanted them
When
to
they
be
know
in.
you.
We
Right.
knew the teachers.
And then it was times I would call the school and they'll put me on hold, but if James called, I'm in the district with them. They still would answer for him quickly because they knew that he would come to the school, they didn't respond to him quicker, and I would maybe send another email, right? Just our personalities. But also, if you have like concerns, y'all, like be upfront with them, meet with the principal. That's their job to meet with you. And I tell my parents, I have an open door policy. Now you gotta set up an appointment with me, but I'm here to support you in your child's educational journey. And without your support, I can't do this. At my school, our core values are family, learning, and fun. Without the family, we cannot teach your kids. Because it takes a village, literally. That's why we need the church, we need home, and we need the school to be successful. Right? And I can talk a little bit about my school success, but we have several community partnerships that are churches, right? That's in my school, reading to my kids, bringing them things. So just those things make a difference. but we're blessed here because we have a children ministry. Sister Cook talked about having debates. That's academic conversation. That's what the kids do all the time in school. So the same things they're learning in school, they're reinforcing here at church. So that's that bridge that connects. Because she's an educator, she knows those things and she's enforcing them. So everything they're doing is things that they're just reinforcing what they learned in school. But again, if you have any questions or I can support you, I promise you, parents are always reaching out. I'm here to help you with any questions in education. K-12, I can tell you how to direct you in the right direction, because I think that's very important. We have to advocate for our kids. I'm advocating for my babies at my school,
Advocate.
and then you have to advocate for your kids. Nobody knows your kids better than you. And they may say, well, I taught them all year long. I don't care. You still don't know my child. They go home with me. And you don't get me wrong, they do spend more time, a lot of times, at school than they are at home. But at the end of the day, you're the parent. These are your kids, and you know what you want best for them. James we had curriculum night the other night, and one of the teachers was talking. We have house systems at our school. I don't know if you're familiar with Ron Clark. Anyways, one of the teachers described it as Harry Potter. He said something. He's like, "Hold up." In the middle of all the parents, so one of my teachers came and said, I want to apologize to you. I want your husband to know I'm not teaching sorcery. I believe in Jesus. I know y'all believe in Jesus too. I said, what happened? He didn't say to me. She said, well, I said something about Harry Potter. He kind of said, hold up. And so I said, it's okay. I'll talk to him and see what it is. But she needs to know that. Don't try to play over our kids because this is important to us. We're teaching Jesus over here. I don't got time for no Harry Potter and all the rest of the crew, right? So that's my 2 cents.
Amen.